Somebody preached a message one time out of Psalm 2, that I've given you the nations of the world as your inheritance. And I asked the Lord, what nation should I be praying for? And He very clearly spoke to me that I should be praying for the nation of Cuba. And so I began to pray for the nation of Cuba. And I began to pray all the general prayers that we would pray. God bless Cuba. God raise up your church in Cuba. And eventually He brought me around to praying for the leadership of Cuba. And of course, I ended up praying for Fidel Castro. And the Holy Spirit just continued to shape my prayers very specifically about Cuba and about Fidel Castro. My one prayer for Cuba became, Lord, the seed that his mother sowed in his life as a boy, let my prayers water that seed, let it grow up and become everlasting life. I prayed for 6 years, and I was in Los Angeles with a group of pastors, and one pastor at breakfast one morning began telling a story. He said he had a pastor friend who'd gone to Cuba and began to preach the gospel in Havana and had found great favor, had set up his tent, was preaching every night, wasn't being hindered, and then one night he got a knock on his hotel room door. And it was 2 government officials saying, would you come with us? Under the cover of darkness, they drove him to a very official-looking building, took him up the back stairs and into an office. He said in a few minutes, Fidel Castro walked in the office. He sat down behind this desk. He said, I brought you here because I want you to tell me the stories from the Bible that my mother used to tell me. In that moment, God said to me, son, this stuff really works. God doesn't answer prayer because we're good. God answers prayer because He's good.